Auzubillahiminash-shaytanir-rajim. Bismillahir-rahmanir-rahim. Dear students, parents and well-wishers, बहुत शुक्रिया, थैंक यू वेरी मच। आप लोग वीडियोस को देखते हैं, लाइक करते हैं और चैनल को भी सब्सक्राइब करते हैं। जिन स्टूडेंट्स ने और जिन लोगों ने भी अभी तक चैनल सब्सक्राइब नहीं किया वो काइंडली इसको सब्सक्राइब करें और वीडियोस को देखें। डियर स्टूडेंट्स, आज हम एक बहुत दिलचस्प और बहुत अहम टॉपिक जो है वो डिस्कस करना चाहते हैं और वो है कि बॉन्ड कैसे बनता है। बेसिक और फंडामेंटल थ्योरी जो बॉन्ड फॉर्मेशन को एक्सप्लेन करती है वो है वैलेंस बॉन्ड थ्योरी, जिसे VBT कहा जाता है। तो आज हम मेनली वैलेंस बॉन्ड थ्योरी के ऊपर बात करना चाहते हैं, लेकिन साथ हम इस थ्योरी की लिमिटेशंस भी देखेंगे एंड इट्स लिमिटेशंस, कि ये थ्योरी किन बातों को एक्सप्लेन नहीं कर सकती है। और फिर वहीं से हमारा नेक्स्ट लेक्चर जो है वो होगा कि आखिर हाइब्रिडाइजेशन की क्या ज़रूरत है और ये कहाँ से किसके जहन में ये आइडिया आया होगा कि एटॉमिक ऑर्बिटल हाइब्रिडाइजेशन भी होनी चाहिए। तो ये हमारा आज का बड़ा एक सिंपल, तो सबसे पहले हम वैलेंस बॉन्ड थ्योरी को एक्सप्लेन करना चाहते हैं। वैलेंस बॉन्ड थ्योरी explains the formation of a covalent bond। तो ये कोवेलेंट बॉन्ड बनने के अमल को या how a covalent bond is formed is explained by the valence bond theory। अगर मैं इसकी बेसिक अजम्पशन की बात करूं, द बेसिक अजम्पशन ऑफ वैलेंस बॉन्ड थ्योरी इसके अपने नाम के अंदर लिखा हुआ है। तो आप अगर नाम पे गौर करें तो नाम में लिखा है वैलेंस बॉन्ड, जिसका मतलब है कि बॉन्ड सिर्फ वैलेंस शेल बनाता है। इन अदर वर्ड्स, ओनली वैलेंस शेल इज इन्वॉल्व्ड इन द बॉन्ड फॉर्मेशन। द इनर शेल्स और द कंप्लीटली फिल्ड शेल्स have nothing to do with the bond formation। The basic assumption of valence bond theory is that a bond is formed by the overlap of the half filled orbitals of the valence shell of an atom। तो this theory says that a covalent bond is formed simply by the overlap of the half filled orbital of the valence shell of an atom। Now, what are main postulates of valence bond theory? तो according to valence bond theory, a covalent bond is formed by the overlap of orbitals। कोवेलेंट बॉन्ड सिर्फ ऐसे बनता है। नंबर 2, द ऑर्बिटल्स overlapping must be half filled। जो ओवरलैप कर रहे हैं ऑर्बिटल्स, दे मस्ट बी हाफ फिल्ड, वो हाफ फिल्ड होना जरूरी है। इट मींस according to this theory a completely filled orbital having 2 electrons cannot form a covalent bond। The strength of bond depends upon area of overlap। स्ट्रेंथ ऑफ बॉन्ड डिपेंड करता है कि ओवरलैप कितना हुआ है। फॉर एग्जांपल, दो ऑर्बिटल्स करीब आ रहे हैं और ओवरलैप, तो अगर उनमें ओवरलैप कम हुआ है तो बॉन्ड वीक होगा, और अगर उनमें ओवरलैप ज्यादा हुआ है तो बॉन्ड उतना ही स्ट्रॉन्ग होगा। लिहाजा जितना ओवरलैप ज्यादा होता है, ग्रेटर द ओवरलैप स्ट्रॉन्गर विल बी द कोवेलेंट बॉन्ड। नंबर 4, when orbitals overlap linear or head on, then a sigma bond is formed। और जब ऑर्बिटल्स लीनियर ओवरलैप करते हैं तो सिग्मा बॉन्ड बनता है। एंड व्हेन ऑर्बिटल्स ओवरलैप पैरेलल और साइडवेज, तो जब साइडवेज या पैरेलल ओवरलैप करते हैं, देन ए पाई बॉन्ड इज फॉर्म्ड, तो फिर एक पाई बॉन्ड बनता है। सो इफ द ऑर्बिटल्स ओवरलैप इन दिस वे, दिस इज वन हाफ फिल्ड ऑर्बिटल, दिस इज अनदर हाफ फिल्ड ऑर्बिटल, if they overlap in a linear manner like this one, this is linear overlap, then a sigma bond is formed। But if the two orbitals overlap parallel with each other like this one, this is parallel overlap, then a pi bond is formed। And the last point is overlap can occur between similar as well as different orbitals। तो ओवरलैप सिमिलर ऑर्बिटल्स में भी हो सकता है और ओवरलैप डिफरेंट ऑर्बिटल्स में भी हो सकता है। फॉर एग्जांपल, हाइड्रोजन के केस में सिमिलर ऑर्बिटल्स s और s आपस में एक दूसरे के साथ ओवरलैप करते हैं और सिग्मा बॉन्ड बनता है। लेकिन HF के केस में हाइड्रोजन का हाफ फिल्ड 1s होगा और फ्लोरीन के पास 2pz हाफ फिल्ड ऑर्बिटल होता है। तो हाइड्रोजन का 1s और फ्लोरीन का 2pz जब आपस में लीनियर ओवरलैप करते हैं तो सिग्मा बॉन्ड बनता है। तो ये है वैलेंस बॉन्ड थ्योरी के मेन पोस्टुलेट के बॉन्ड कैसे बनते हैं। नाउ इफ वी टॉक अबाउट द एग्जांपल्स ऑफ बॉन्ड फॉर्मेशन अकॉर्डिंग टू दिस थ्योरी, देन फॉर्मेशन ऑफ H2 molecule can occur like this one। The electronic configuration of hydrogen is 1s1। It means that each atom of hydrogen has a half filled 1s orbital। So this is one hydrogen, it has one half filled atomic orbital which is s। This is other hydrogen, it has also half filled orbital orbital. Now according to valence bond theory, the two half-filled orbitals overlap. Both the electron form a pair and they now occupy the space between the two nuclei. In other words, the electron density between the two nuclei is increased. As a result, the orbital now formed has a maximum probability of finding the electron between the nuclei. In other words, electron density between the nuclei is increased and on the sides of the nuclei becomes less, so the attraction between the nuclei is increased and a sigma bond is formed between two hydrogen atoms. Similarly, how HF molecule is formed can be explained very easily on the basis of valence bond theory, as hydrogen has one s half-filled orbital. Fluorine atomic number 9 has configuration 1s2, 2s2, 2px2, 2py2 and 2pz1. It means fluorine has 2pz half-filled orbital. Now this is the atomic half-filled orbital of a hydrogen atom. This is the half-filled orbital of fluorine, which is 2pz1, and hydrogen has 1s1. And according to valence bond theory, both the orbitals now overlap. Both electrons forms a pair. They have now opposite spin and become stabilized, and as a result, a covalent bond is formed and the electron density between the two nuclei is increased and a sigma bond is formed between H and F. Now how ammonia is formed can be explained very easily on the basis of valence bond theory. Nitrogen configuration atomic number 7 is 1s2, 2s2, 2px1, 2py1, 2pz1. It means that nitrogen has 3 half-filled orbitals, x, y and z. Each has 1 electron. Now each half-filled orbital of nitrogen now will overlap with 1 hydrogen atom separately, as each hydrogen also has 1 electron and it will overlap with this one. Each will form a pair, so nitrogen now forms 3 sigma bonds with hydrogen atoms, and in this way ammonia molecule is formed. It means that this theory can explain the formation of molecules very easily, as we have explained the formation of H2 molecule, HF molecule, ammonia molecule. Similarly, if I just give you a hint about the formation of water according to the valence bond theory, then oxygen will have 2 half-filled orbitals, 2py and 2pz. Now both will overlap with 1s of hydrogen, which are also half-filled. Oxygen also has 2 half-filled orbitals. In this way, oxygen will form 2 sigma bond with 2 hydrogens. and can explain successfully the formation of water molecule. But what is the limitation of valence bond theory is very simple, and from these two examples you can easily note that if the bonds are formed by X, Y and Z, just imagine if the bonds are formed by X, Y and Z, then we know that the bond angles between X, Y and Z are 90 degree, as X, Y and Z are perpendicular to each other. Then all these three hydrogens must have angle of 90 degrees. And if we consider that a lone pair is also present in the valence shell of nitrogen, then presence of lone pair will further decrease the bond angle. So according to valence bond theory, the bond angle between hydrogens should not be greater than 90 degree. But we know that experiments says that the bond angles between hydrogen in ammonia are 107.5 degree. Similarly, just consider the case of water. In case of water, if the bond is formed by 2py and 2pz, then y and z are perpendicular to each other, and the bond angle between one and the second hydrogen must be 90 degree. But you know that in case of water, the experimental fact is that the bond angle between two hydrogens is 104.5. How the bond angle becomes 104.5? It cannot be explained on the basis of valence bond theory. So the main disadvantage or the main limitation of valence bond theory is that it cannot explain the bond angles successfully, as in case of ammonia and in case of water. Similarly, in case of carbon, only two half-filled orbitals are present. Then how carbon forms four covalent bonds cannot be explained by the valence bond theory. Similarly, in case of many molecules, the bonds are formed by different orbitals, so there should be different bonds. But experimental fact is that the bonds in different molecules have same nature. For example, all the four bonds in methane molecule are exactly same and have same bond energies. So the bond energies and equal bond lengths in methane molecule cannot be explained by valence bond theory. The bond angles in ammonia and in water cannot be explained by the valence bond theory. Similarly, the tetravalency of carbon cannot be explained by the valence bond theory. So valence bond theory has certain limitations. No doubt it successfully explains the formation of hydrogen molecule, fluorine molecule, HF molecule, ammonia molecule, water molecule, but it can explain only the bond formation, that how bond is formed, but not the bond angles in the molecules. In the next lecture, dear students, we will start hybridization. That is why we need hybridization. So I think you must have realized that since valence bond theory has certain limitations, so to explain those limitations or those disadvantages of the valence bond theory, the theory of atomic orbital hybridization was presented, which we will explain in next lecture. Thank you, dear students. Allah Hafiz.